English story time.
Episode 8. Charlotte's Magical Bakery. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the rolling hills of the countryside, there lived a baker named Charlotte. She was a kind and gentle soul, with a passion for baking that bordered on obsession. She spent every waking moment thinking about her craft, experimenting with new recipes and techniques, and perfecting her art. Charlotte's bakery was the talk of the village. Every morning, the sweet aroma of freshly baked bread and pastries wafted through the streets, enticing the villagers to come and sample her creations. She made everything from traditional breads and cakes to elaborate confections and desserts, and her customers never failed to leave with a smile on their faces and a full stomach. One day, a mysterious stranger arrived in the village. He was tall and lean, with piercing green eyes and jet black hair. He wore a long black coat with a wide-brimmed hat, and carried a large leather satchel slung over his shoulder. He introduced himself as Oliver, and he had a secret. Oliver was a baker, just like Charlotte, but he was a baker with a difference. He could make magical pastries that granted wishes to those who ate them. He had heard of Charlotte's reputation as the best baker in the land, and he had come to challenge her to a baking competition. Charlotte was skeptical at first, but she was also intrigued. She had never heard of anyone who could make pastries that granted wishes, and she was determined to find out if Oliver's claims were true. So, she agreed to the competition, and the two of them set to work. For days, they baked and experimented, creating the most elaborate and delicious pastries the village had ever seen. They made cakes shaped like castles, and cookies that looked like stars. Finally, the day of the competition arrived. The village was filled with excitement and anticipation, and the judges were ready to taste the pastries and declare a winner. Charlotte and Oliver stood nervously side by side, their creations arrayed before them. As the judges tasted their pastries, magic began to happen. The cakes granted the eaters' deepest desires, the cookies brought them good fortune, and the pie allowed them to soar through the air like birds. But in the end, there could only be one winner. And that winner was Charlotte. Her pastries had been the most delicious, the most magical, and the most memorable. Oliver was forced to admit defeat, but he was also impressed by Charlotte's skill and creativity. The two of them became fast friends, and they spent the rest of their days baking together, creating pastries that brought joy and wonder to the village. And so, the legend of Charlotte the Baker lived on, as did the magic of her pastries. For in that small village, in the rolling hills of the countryside, there was a baker who could make dreams come true, one delicious pastry at a time.